role is very clear to define. I am a non-executive chairman. I've been appointed in late December of 2023, and I consider my challenge to be one of promoting as much as possible and strengthening the governance structures of the bank, because although a lot of emphasis is placed on ESG nowadays, I think people tend to focus more on the E and the S and a bit less on the G. And I think that since I'm a non-executive chairman and I should not be involved directly in the operational side of the bank, it is both my duty and the duty of the board of directors, which I chair, to ensure that governance structures, which are already very strong in the bank itself, are consolidated further.
I joined the bank in February, in the last week of February as Deputy CEO, which was quite a new field for me, so to say, because it's the public sector. I was always in the private sector and commercial banks all over the place. It's new, it's interesting, it's in Malta, it's a development bank, and it's important for the country. It's a young bank, it's been here for 7 years, it's in its early stages, and I find it very, very important for the country to have such a bank and to continue in this field with providing, catalyzing or bridging the investment gap, as our logo says, in the future.
We have various mechanisms regarding governance. First of all, many people don't know this, but it's part of the legislation itself. We are not regulated by the MFSA or other bodies. We are not registered with the business registry. Why? Because the bank itself was set up by a law specifically catering for the establishment of the bank. So our functions, our objectives, our values, and even our constraints are specifically lined up and outlined in the legislation itself. But governance is so strong in the legislation that more than 2 pages of the legislation are focused on a body which many people don't know that exists. We are subject to the scrutiny of a supervisory board. The supervisory board is appointed by consultation between the government and the opposition. It's been working effectively, quietly behind the scenes since the inception of the bank. And this is just one of the components that tightens our governance structures.
When proposals come in, the ESG aspect is we take careful consideration of that. There is analysis from the credit and risk areas of the bank in that sector, as well as for big projects we use such, so to say, an ESG calculator, which is required by the EIB and the EIF as well for certain big projects. Apart from that, we did an analysis of the building as well, if it's really conform last year. Yeah, various aspects, not only in implementing the E, S and the G, but also in onboarding new big projects.
We have various internal mechanisms. We can still be subject to a scrutiny on public expenditure by the NAO itself. The only occasion when they felt the need to carry out an audit, and the outcome was very positive, was at the end of the COVID schemes that we were catering for. But then we also have various internal mechanisms. We have a committee, for example, that focuses exclusively on ethics and governance itself. We have various structures which put governance very much at the fore. So I think that we are not short of mechanisms on governance. This apart, due to our links with the EU, we are subject to the scrutiny of Eurostat itself. So once again, we have to ensure that we are always in line with certain norms and certain standards.
Because the clients not necessarily always come to us directly. We have clients that come to us directly, and I can speak about those clients, but other clients who come to the commercial banks then are routed to us, or we go pari passu with them, so 50-50, so to say, when we land. The world has changed. We can see the repercussions of what we do the environment, how we harm the environment, and what's the environment gives us back, like floods, like heat, we name them. However, maybe there are other factors or geopolitical factors in the world that are happening which are not helping the progress towards sustainability.
I know that you have already touched upon the issue of the InvestEU link-up which we are trying to establish. That is a lengthy process which subjected us to scrutiny through various mechanisms since 2020, a process of 5 years. So whether we like it or not, we have a lot of structures on governance which are there, but which we obviously intend to keep on strengthening in future, and which will definitely never be a dead letter for our organization. First of all, I think that our biggest challenge as a bank is to raise our visibility further, because we believe that there are many people out there who stand to benefit from our schemes, who either don't know enough about our schemes, or who might be scared off by the complexity of certain constraints imposed by the institutional links that we have. When we had our annual report presentation, I relied heavily on the word simplification or simplicity. Many people thought I was just using it as a buzzword. It's not a buzzword at all. It's something we believe in and we think that we need. Because unless we simplify our methods, we could lose a lot of potential business. On the other hand, while we are fully aware of the geopolitical challenges that are constantly evolving, sometimes even by the hour, I think that for us the most important thing is to focus on the key areas that emerge from our strategy, which was officially publicized and approved by the Board of Directors for the first time last year. Basically, we don't believe in business as usual. We believe in focusing on those areas, which after all are those areas which even any government in Malta would be focusing on. Creativity, innovation, research, the areas where we tend to be a bit laggards as a country. And we are encouraged by the fact, and I'm not going into the merits of it in detail because it's still a consultation document, but we were recently approached as an institution to give our feedback to the Vision 2050 document. We tackled this invitation very seriously. Only last Friday we approved a rather robust document which set out 3 different reactions to this document. First of all, we highlighted the positive elements of the document, because for once there was a document which looked beyond electoral cycles and focused beyond. Secondly, we tried to identify the strong complementarity with the areas in which we believe in so strongly, and modesty apart, these were areas that we identified 1 year before the vision document itself was out. And thirdly, we also made concrete practical suggestions, how without giving the impression that without MDB the whole world would fall apart, at the same time we feel that we can be catalysts and enablers